I'm here representing 144 youths from Semiahmoo Secondary School. Please allow me to submit this petition asking you to reject the gaming license for Gateway Casino.
Second.
All in favor? Contrary, that is carried.
I have been collecting signatures from students for the past 3 days at Semiahmoo, and the amount of opposition to the casino is overwhelming. We have many concerns about this proposed development, which seems to benefit Gateway tremendously, but not necessarily the residents of Surrey. The socioeconomic impact report for the casino was created by Gateway. It seems to me this report can hardly be unbiased. In addition, the environmental reports are based on statistics from 2008 and 2009. Without accurate reports, the true impact of a casino such as this can only be imagined. And without concrete evidence, there leaves little basis for an argument which outlines the supposed benefits of a gaming facility. Casinos are places in which I don't see very many people smiling. I've been to Vegas and just let them know. There's a purposeful design where it is poorly lit, and so people lose track of time and gamble away more than they can afford. How can we support an industry that bases its income on the successful deception of its clients? I would also like to address the issue of the relationship between organized crime and casinos. I'd like to also submit this letter and explain it in a moment.
Okay. Motion for second. All in favor? Contrary, carried. And Madam Clerk, when you're finished entering them, can we see them up here, please?
With the proposed casino in Vancouver, 18 senior police officers with specific expertise in organized crime stated, "As police officers, we have seen the ravages of addicted and of gang and organized crime firsthand. The connection is closer than most members of the public may imagine." They also said, and I quote, "We are in no position to deal with the increased criminal activity that will necessarily attend the development of a massive casino." This was said in regards to a proposed Vancouver casino. The Vancouver Police Force is a much larger organization than Surrey's. As such, we are more vulnerable than Vancouver to the increase in crime which these policing experts insist will accompany a casino. Money laundering is also a concern. A loan shark employer gave conclusive evidence in the BC Supreme Court that he had teams operating 24/7 in a River Rock casino. One of the fundamental problems with casinos is that there is no limit to how much money can be lost. A CBC News report from September 22nd, 2011 informs us of a local resident who lost everything that a local resident can lose everything in a single night. I'd also like to submit this as a CBC News report.
I'll move to receive it. Second. All in favor?
In this report, a 2011 Korean Canadian by the name of Yu Chai racked up $150,000 in debt at a downtown Vancouver casino. Her body was found later floating in Lynn Canyon. She had committed suicide. I'd like to read an excerpt from the same article. An expert wrote that, and here I quote, "Across Canada, at least 200 problem gamblers kill themselves each year, according to estimates from the Canada Safety Council. But even that number underestimates the scope of the problem because suicides are rarely officially linked to gambling. According to Prof. Robert Williams, a teacher at the University of Lethbridge and an expert in gambling addictions at the Alberta Gambling Research Institute, his study estimated 10% of all suicides in Alberta have some kind of gambling component. For every gambling-related suicide, there are 4 other problem gamblers who try to kill themselves but fail," he says. The number of gambling-related suicides in BC has jumped from 4 suicides in 2009 to 10 in 2010. The rate of gambling-related suicides is growing exponentially. BC Medical Association, stepping forward, found incidents that severe gambling addiction has more than doubled between 2002 and 2009. BC has nearly as many severe gambling addicts as drug addicts. By allowing the development of a casino in Surrey, we are giving the opportunity for many casual gamblers to become addicted. Although there are strong arguments for the economic benefits of a casino, there are many intangible problems which will arise as well. Things a price tag cannot be attached to, such as the loss of peace for many local residents. We heard the story of one woman earlier who had a very convincing tale. The increase in crime rate, and not just the one person who commits suicide, but the dozens who are affected because of it. The proposed location of the casino is also, according to Google Maps, a 30-minute walk from the Russell Avenue Alcoholics Rehabilitation Center. That is a 5-minute drive. The proximity to a help center will not be advantageous, as it will tempt people back to the very type of behavior they are attempting to eradicate. In the January 17th edition of the Peace Arch News, an article was written about the highly contentious Newton site, and I'd also like to submit this.
I'll move we receive it.
Seconder?
Second.
All in favor, contrary, carried.
The Newton Council passed the gaming expansion in Newton with a 5-4 vote. And here I quote, "The company that won the rezoning later flipped the property to Gateway, which is now the forefront of the move south. City councilors have said publicly they no longer want the Newton gaming facility. Please do not make the same mistake. A decision to allow the casino is irreversible and cannot be retracted. I'm deeply troubled that the majority of speakers who are in favor of this casino are from Gateway, whereas those who speak in opposition are dairy farmers, former alcoholics, farmers, and concerned residents who will be affected by this development. Please allow me to remind you most respectfully that you do not represent Gateway. You represent us, your constituents. In a democracy, the voice of the people should prevail, not the voice of a large business. I, and the many who signed the petition, solely youths, will soon be within voting age. Do not alienate us by giving us a development we do not need or want. Do not bequeath us a Surrey that no longer retains its community value, but is instead a place where tourists frequent to spend mindless hours within a dark building. To reject the gaming license, it'll take guts. It will take an upholding of moral integrity, which will allow your legacy to be one of sound judgment and critical decision-making. Please, allow this democracy to function as it should, with your people at the heart of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.